So good morning. Sarah, it's good to see you this morning. Real quickly for everybody, just tell us kind of who you are, what you do on campus, what your major is, where are you quarantined at, things like that.
Sweet. So good morning. My name is Sarah. I am a senior child and family studies major here at Tarleton. I'm currently quarantined at my house in Stephenville with two of my other roommates. And so we are having fun, finding creative ways to stay productive and stay busy without leaving, of course.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm quarantined with a family of six with kids and all sorts of craziness. Um, Quarantine with your roommates. Do you guys have to make a list and just send one of you to the store, or is it all of you go together? What's the shelter in place kind of rule for y'all?
So we actually made a huge run like right before everything had happened. So hopefully we don't have to make another run for a little bit. But last time we went, everyone went, which, maybe not our best choice, but we all went together and kind of made it happen faster than one person going.
So just out of curiosity, what's been your go-to quarantine snack of choice?
My go-to stuff. I eat a lot of peanut butter, like with anything. So I've not like gone through a whole jar, but I have eaten it with like almost everything that I've had. So lots of peanut butter.
Awesome. And that'll last forever. So if this thing goes south,
Yeah,
you're set.
as
Um,
long as I don't eat it all. Yeah.
um, so in this period, because we all got back from Beach Reach, and then we had the extended spring break, and now online classes start. But we've really been in quarantine for a couple weeks.
Mhm.
What has God been teaching you in this time?
So for me personally, I think one of the things that the Lord's teaching me, one is that we have so much time when we are like in quarantine or social distancing, because we can't go out and do things. Like we've been asked not to, so respectfully, we can't. Um, and I think one of the things that like I have thoroughly enjoyed doing is starting to like really practice memorizing scripture more and like larger sections of it, because that's one thing like I've struggled with in the past is like trying to memorize things, and so I always just like kind of got frustrated, but now I have like extended time to just sit and like dwell in it and read over it over and over as like many times as I need to. And it's also something that like I can use to like focus my prayers, which is a different thing that I'm doing. I on my wall, that you can't see back here, but on a different wall, I've got note cards that I've taped to the wall, with different like specific people groups that I'm praying for, who whether they're at like high risk or if it's like churches, like large scale church, or like our political leaders, different people who have to make like judgment calls. And so those are all things that are on my wall. And so every morning I see them, really anytime I'm in my room, like they're right there. And so that is something that has helped me like keep my focus in the world that we're living in, which is like virtual reality where distraction is like just, one click away or one tap away on your phone.
Yeah, for sure, man. So in the midst of this, how are you connecting with other people? I mean, I know you've got roommates and you guys can roommate, but how are you reaching out? I know you're praying for people, memorizing scripture, but what does that relational aspect look like for you, especially in loving people and loving your neighbor and loving your classmates?
Yeah, absolutely. I think for me, one of the things like I learned last semester and continue to learn, is that we are like very relational and it's like a very big need. And that's something that I like wasn't confident in or comfortable in last semester, because that like meant that I had to reach out to people if I needed something, or had to admit to myself that it's like it's okay to like want to be around people. And so I think for me, this has been a really good time to kind of explore creative ways to stay connected. Obviously, you can do like FaceTime calls, and so like for the people that I get to sit down and hear about their life every week. through discipleship. Like I'm still staying connected with them, just virtually. So we have FaceTime pockets set up in the times that we would normally meet anyway. And I think part of that comes from like keeping a structure within a place where you like don't have to have any structure is really important relationally, because that way I'm not staying up until midnight trying to contact people, but I am utilizing the daytime to reach out to my small group, whether it's through text or call, and just check on them, or send messages to people who I might see regularly on campus, but aren't necessarily part of like the core group that I always communicate with. And so still taking the time to like, for me, I have to write out lists, and like kind of keep them in front of me to see like who I do see normally, or who like I, don't see normally, but I used to see every day in other classes. And so thinking through the people in my class, thinking through my family. I was supposed to go home last weekend, and then we got self-quarantined, and so I didn't go home on their behalf. And my
And
sister
we
and I
made it,
watched.
and we're
Yeah,
not sick.
we're
So
not sick, so we're totally good. But my sister and I watched a movie together in completely different places because we told each other when to push play, and then we talked to each other the whole way through. And so little things like that, you can still watch movies together, you can still play games together. You just have to be creative in what you do and how you do it.
Sarah, that's awesome. That's gold. Thanks for sharing that with us. Um, okay, well, thanks for taking some time out of your day to spend with us. And just one of the things we want to do here is you come up with the good ideas, and other people come up with good ideas of how do we connect with people, whether it just be sheer relationally, just to keep our sanity, or to connect with people and have spiritual discovery conversations. And let's just keep sharing those ideas. So Sarah, thank you for your time.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. It's good to see your face.